Gauging work team information investments. To what degree does the organization provide real-time feedback to each work team to help gauge their success? Do they have to wait until the monthly report comes out, the quarterly report comes out? Do they get real-time data? How do you encourage work teams to use balance scorecards that include at least one cost measure? How do you regularly update your work teams on performance trends and financial decisions? How do you seek work team feedback to ensure that information is timely and meaningful? How do you empower your work teams to collect their own data and track their own performance trends? And then finally, how do you recognize and reward work teams that take action to improve their key performance measures? And so here we have 4 ways to improve your work team information investment score. First of all, we want to provide meaningful and consistent feedback. Work team members regularly seek feedback as to how they're doing. Work group leaders and other managers should ensure that this feedback is meaningful and timely. So when someone comes to you and says, "How am I doing?" you give them feedback that's meaningful and timely. As you review your current feedback systems for possible improvement, be sure to look at both verbal feedback systems and reports, both paper and digital. Involve the team in making feedback system improvements. Additionally, make this information as timely as possible. Make answering the question, "How did we do?" easy to answer. I'm a big advocate of letting teams do their own scorekeeping. Each work group should design and track their own key measures, using computer-based support whenever possible to speed things up. Management job should be to state the key focus areas, explain why these focus areas were selected relative to the work team, and help each work team define how their process measures link to similar measures at the business unit or company level. Ownership increases when the team has a hand in controlling their destiny. Mere compliance and data manipulation occur at a greater rate when a team feels a lack of ownership, or when they perceive they're being held accountable for things that are outside of their control, or that they will actually be punished in some form if their numbers aren't good enough. We want to reward and recognize success, and at a minimum, we should recognize teams when they reach certain performance goals and are able to understand our key measures. The "what's in it for me" question is best answered, however, by linking team member compensation to company performance through some form of profit sharing. That's like the end game. As you do so, make sure you also shorten the line of sight between daily team activities, overall company performance, and the cash payout. Finally, we want to ensure that balance exists. Each work team should look at a key set of measures or vital signs every day that include each key performance area: safety, quality, cost, people, and even maybe growth. Common areas include those that I mentioned. Mistakes are made when one or more of these areas are left out of the daily performance measure review, because then people don't focus on those measures because they didn't hear about it. They don't think it's important. People focus on what is important. Their definition of importance is based on a combination of their own perceptions and the messages they receive from management. Information, the fuel of effective work teams. Unlike project teams, where time-related resources are the most critical, work teams rely on information as their most important investment type. Without consistent, meaningful, and timely information, work teams cannot make decisions when they need to. They don't know if their daily improvement efforts are paying off. Information is also necessary to help each work team understand how their daily job relates to the bigger picture of company performance. Work teams need 3 main types of information. In all 3 cases, the information should be provided in a balanced manner. What I mean is that no one type of measure, such as production or efficiency, should be emphasized over others, such as safety, quality, or morale. So we're going to take a closer look at these 3 information types below. The first information type is team-based information. At a minimum, When a team reports to work each day, they need to know how they did the day before. Ideally, a team needs real-time information in each key performance area. Somewhere between these two extremes lies the information system that a team will end up using. Most work team information systems break down when they fail to provide the team with previous day information for a variety of performance areas. So that's your goal for team-based information. Second, we want internal customer and supplier information. Teams also need feedback from their internal customers and suppliers as to how well they're doing and what's coming their way. The frequency and mix of this information should be the same as that just stated for team-based information. This type of information normally breaks down when teams only get periodic instead of daily internal customer and supplier feedback. Third, we need to provide bigger picture information. Teams need to be able to see how each performance measure relates to larger measures in the organization. Daily information or updates from the big picture perspective are not as important as knowing what the linkages themselves are. So if I do this and get this result at the work team level, how does it impact the organization at the organizational level? In the ideal sense, each team member should be able to point out the impact that his or her daily performance has on specific income statement and balance sheet line items. The balance scorecard, the daily dashboard, those tools serve as the vehicles for pulling the team's set of measures together. A properly designed scorecard lets the team know what the measures are, what the key performance areas are, the relative importance of each measure, what the range of expected performance for each measure is, and what the desired result for each performance area is, both in the short term and the long term. Most organizations unfortunately focus on efficiency or production at the expense of other measures. They may say that the other performance measures are equally or more important, but if you look at what they currently measure each day and what they spend the most time and emotion talking about, you'll probably agree with my observation. Defining and using balanced scorecards for all key processes is the best way to break this cultural trap. Teams should not be expected to improve their performance results without one or more fundamental system changes being implemented. So we use projects to change how work is done. Incremental gains can be made as teams put small improvements in place, but it's the efforts of project teams that will allow work team performance to grow significantly. A system gives you what it's designed to give you. It is wishful thinking to expect significant improvement to occur by simply asking for it to happen or by somehow begging people to work harder or smarter.